Putting you behind the wheel. HiQ sponsors the BTCC.
It's the beginning of the British summer in North Yorkshire. Welcome to Croft, one of British motorsport's most picturesque venues. Now we're almost halfway through this year's British Touring Car Championship, but we still have no real idea about who's going to be the main challenger to reigning champion Fabrizio Giovanardi. The latest contender is his own teammate, although judging by what happened last time out at Thruxton, it really could have been anyone.
For the second event in succession, it's the youngest member of the Vauxhall team who'll be starting from pole position. Lights out, away we go, and it's Shedden who's taken the lead.
Well, I saw a kick of dust there, and look, and Onslow-Cole's back in front because Shedden has had a moment down at Church.
Look, it's that left front tyre, and it's victory for Tom Onslow-Cole and for VXR. Tom Onslow-Cole looking to make it 2 out of 2, and it is the BMW of Colin Turkington who leads. Again, Turkington look at sliding, slipping, sliding. He's on the grass. That's real commitment. Has he got the inside cover? No, because Onslow-Cole's there.
Oh, Giovanardi's gone off. He's got a puncture. Giovanardi's got a puncture.
The race leader's off. The tyre's given away on the last lap, and Tom Onslow-Cole is going to take his second win of the day. Lights out, away we go, and it's a good start from the pole sitter. Shedden squeezes through. Shedden in trouble again, and Plato takes the lead. Gordon Shedden in trouble, another puncture, and now Giovanardi's trying to take second place away from the youngster, from Andrew Jordan, who's never raced really with these. Oh, they made contact, what a shame! That is such a shame. Andrew Jordan has to shortcut the chicane. He rejoins, oh, in front and right, a gaggle of cars. Andrew Jordan in trouble. Oh, he's in the pits, and it's all over for Andrew Jordan, and Jason Plato takes his second win of the season.
So it was all action last time out at Thruxton, and we're guaranteed more of the same as we bring you the best bits of rounds 13, 14 and 15 of the British Touring Car Championship here from a steadily rain-soaked Croft circuit in North Yorkshire.
Now, he turned 21 just 2 days before Thruxton and promptly won his first 2 races for his new employers, VXR Racing. Many people expected him to play apprentice to the championship leader, but Tom Onslow-Cole here had other plans.
Well, it's a great place, Tom. It's something I imagine a young racing driver would live in. But you like it around here? It's a good place to live?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've got a cosy little place here. It's small, but got everything I sort of need, and the gym crammed away in the corner there. But no, it's a fantastic area to be in. There's a lot happening all the time, and there's a lot of other drivers as well live in this sort of area, so there's a good sort of motor racing social scene as well.
Well, tell us about Thruxton then. You had your 21st birthday on Friday. At the end of the programme on Sunday, I said that I thought you'd come of age by doing that double win. What was it like?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, the birthday celebrations started off with that Friday night in the Harvester. So it was a very tame 21st to start the weekend with, but obviously over a race weekend, that was the main focus. But we obviously had a very good run at Donington with the 3 podium finishes, and Thruxton's another circuit that I really enjoy.
But it was qualifying, first of all, wasn't it? I mean, second pole in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the best bit about it this year for me, for sure, because last year I think my qualifying was probably my downfall and a definite weakness and chink in my armour, but we worked on it a lot over the winter, and this year we've come back and we've had some really good qualifying results. I was confident for race 1. I thought this could be good for us. We're away here, and I got a fairly decent start, and we managed to take the win. Race 2, maybe not as I planned, going back to 5th off the start. That was a real sort of big mistake, and coming back from there, though, for me was fantastic. To take the win again with ballast and coming back from a really poor start was a fantastic feeling for me, and even more satisfying than the first. Fabrizio obviously has the years' experience in the car, So he's been that bit more helpful because he already has it sussed. I kind of went into the team with the attitude of whatever he's got I want, and whatever he does I'll do. And it really did work. And then now these last couple of rounds I've thrown my little bit into it and changed the car a little bit to suit me, and it's really working for me.
I see the punch bag, but you've also got the ergo, you've got the bench press, and the abs machine as well. Not sure you need the abs for that. That's just for looking good, isn't it?
It is actually really good for your fitness. If you go like flat out at the bag for like a minute and a half, you really are drained, and it's very good for your upper body strength, which is obviously what you need for the cars.
And what about family life? Your parents support you?
Yeah, for sure. Dad's supported me obviously a lot through the whole way, and is still supporting me now. He gave me sort of, when we joined the Clio Championship, the first year we did it, we ran it ourselves, and from home, a lot of arguments, but we had a great time doing it, and it was a great way to get into it. For me, the saloon cars was always where I wanted to go. I mean, I used to go and watch Jason and Matt racing when I was like knee-high. I used to be standing on the bank at Thruxton. It's bizarre racing with them now.
I hope you remind them of that fact. How do you think you're going to go there against the Seat? That's too heavy for me. God, how do you do this? This is very heavy.
I've still got that 9-to-5 full-time job during the week. I started an internet company with my father 2 years ago now, and I still run that for him, and so I'm usually in the office. Nipped in this morning quickly before setting off to Croft.
Very different circuit though.
Thruxton, I think, is one of the circuits where the ballast least affects you, but Croft, there's a lot of big braking points and a lot of direction change, so I think it's going to hold the car up a little bit, but at the end of the day it's third place ballast, 27 kilos, so it's not as bad as the 45, so I still think we've got a good crack at pole.
Well, Tom Onslow-Cole could only manage 6th fastest in qualifying yesterday, now that he is carrying that ballast in the Vauxhall Vectra. That meant that Darren Turner was on pole in the Seat diesel car, with Gordon Shedden just behind him and Jason Plato starting in 3rd. Fabrizio Giovanardi could only manage 12th quickest. That was in the dry at least, where it looks like the Seats have the advantage, although now it's in the wet. It looks like Giovanardi might be able to make up some of that deficit. Let's take a look at the driver's standings. As we say, Fabrizio Giovanardi does lead that, but Tom Onslow-Cole's double at Thruxton propelled him up the table, putting him 3rd and 21 points behind Giovanardi, Jason Plato remaining in 2nd. In the Teams Championship, Vauxhall lead that very comfortably from Seat Sport, and the BMWs of Team Halfords and the BMW Dealer Team UK are 3rd and 4th. Okay, the cars are lining up, we're all ready for racing. Round 13 is next. Rounds 14 and 15 a little later on in the show, but first the action from the first race of the day here at Croft, and Jason Plato was already a victim of the weather as he aquaplaned straight off the track at turn 1 and into the gravel trap. Let's join our commentators Tim Harvey and first Ben Edwards.
Well, it's Jason's teammate who starts this one from pole position, Darren Turner in the Seat with Gordon Shedden alongside. Now a gap where Jason should be, 3rd on the grid. Colin Turkington starts 4th. Then it's Matt Neal in the VX racing car with his teammate Tom Onslow-Cole alongside on row 3. Row 4, we've got Matt Jackson in the fast-starting BMW and Tom Chilton. Then Adam Jones in 9th place, Stephen Kane in 10th. They're followed by Mike Jordan and championship leader Fabrizio Giovanardi. Watch for the BMW of Colin Turkington. He's got a space next to him where Plato should be. He's back on the 2nd row, and he could be the one to watch at the start of the race. The other front row man, of course, is Gordon Shedden in the Team Halfords car. Let's wait and see what happens at the start of the race. The first of the day here. Lights out, away we go, and it's the 2 front row men away well. The BMW, not as quick. Jackson makes a brilliant start in the other BMW. The white car of Matt Jackson really launched off the line, but up to the first corner, and Gordon Shedden is just trying to squeeze his way. Bobbing over the curb goes Darren Turner. It's Gordon Shedden for Team Halfords who leads. Turner being pitched a bit sideways. Stephen Kane spins through the first couple of corners, gathers it together and gets going again.
Clervaux, the first corner, is always tight, and that was very brave going around the outside of Shedden. Turner, to his credit, gave him room, and Shedden was just able to close him out.
What a start by Matt Jackson. He is in 2nd place. What a remarkable getaway. He started from 7th. A brilliant start from him, but not so good for Colin Turkington.
Watch out for Giovanardi trying to close up. Oh, we got somebody way off. It's Turner in second.
Disaster for Seat. This race has looked so promising for them with Pole and Jason Plato on third, but it's all gone wrong for them, and it's Matt Jackson pushing really hard in the BMW. He thought he could have had Pole actually in qualifying if he hadn't been blocked by Matt Neal.
So Matt Jackson in the white BMW chasing after Gordon Shedden. Shedden, who led twice last time out at Thruxton, only to suffer punctures, really hurting his championship campaign. But Matt Jackson charging all around the back of that Team Halfords Honda, looking for a way through, and he's getting alongside. Can he hold the inside line into the right-hander? No, he can't. Shedden just shuts the door. And Shedden, who put in a last gasp qualifying attempt yesterday to get on the front row, is determined to hold on to the lead. Third place at the moment for Colin Turkington, and then the first of the Vauxhalls is next up, and that looks like it is Matt Neal in fourth place. Yes, it is. And then behind Matt Neal is Tom Chilton, and then Tom Onslow-Cole. We're looking at the start of the race on board with Jackson. That was fantastic.
Fantastic start past both of them. He really got that hooked up, just the right combination, just in front. Now watch how brave Shedden is round the outside. Brakes a little bit later. Oh, little touch on the back of Turner, who has to go over the curb. That curb can whip the sump off if you're not careful, but he managed to clear that. Oh, and a touch there. Now that's how Jackson got past Turner. Turner won't be happy about that.
But look at the battle here between... Oh, and off goes Turkington, but he's run wide. He might be able to get back on again. Squeezed out of the way by Matt Neal, and Turkington loses a place. So Matt Neal gains a position. That puts the Vauxhall up to third now. Some leaders are side by side, and Jackson's through. What a great manoeuvre by Matt Jackson, and he's got the lead.
Yeah, that wide entry you talked about into Tower gave him a great slingshot out of the corner, and he was able to draw alongside and past on the way into the Jim Clark S's, the fastest part of the corner of the track, at 125 miles an hour through the bend. Very brave.
Oh, we've got several cars, and the safety car is on circuit.
Well, of course, under those conditions, the race could not continue. Louise Goodman caught up with the series director, Alan Gow.
Alan, what's the latest situation? What can you tell us about that incident?
Well, we had two cars go off, as you see, on Tower Corner, and unfortunately a couple of marshals were injured. Not too seriously, but our main concern was extracting those, so we did a race stoppage. And obviously we'll restart the race shortly when we get the barriers fixed. So confirmation that those marshals are okay, just a few bumps and bruises, but nothing that a stiff cup of tea won't fix. Right, after that, the rain eased enough for the race to get going again. Here's Ben Edwards with a revised grid.
So this is how they line up for the restart. Gordon Shedden starts from pole position. Matt Jackson alongside him trying to get that lead back. Then it's Matt Neal and Colin Turkington on the second row of the grid. They're followed by Tom Onslow-Cole and Tom Chilton on row number 3. Mike Jordan lines up next with Fabrizio Giovanardi. Adam Jones and Harry Volkard are together. And then the two Motorbase teammates, Rob Collard and Stephen Kane.
Here we go for the second time of asking. Round 13 of the championship. Gets underway, and again it's Jackson who makes a lightning getaway. Absolutely breathtaking stuff from Matt Jackson, who surges into the lead, and it's Turkington challenging for second place as they come down towards the first corner. But watch the puddles here. The puddles are a lot worse than they were. Look at Shedden sliding through the puddle, but makes it round the corner.
Well, Jackson, a fantastic getaway, but he could hardly keep the car in a straight line on the run down to Clervaux, the first corner. Such was the standing water, but he's absolutely streaked away.
Absolutely brilliant start once again from the youngster Matt Jackson, winner at Rockingham earlier this year, and trying to make it 2 victories. But oh, look at that, even in the straight he was sliding the back end of the car all over the place. Oh, and he's won by Jackson's off from the lead, the first one to try the conditions, and he's fallen at that hurdle at Tower Corner.
He's not the only one of the Vauxhalls off as well.
Gordon Shedden now, I think it is, leading this race with Turkington up there. But where is Matt Neal? We need to keep an eye out on where Matt Neal has got to. Shedden, though, race leader, trying to splash his way through the puddles. Turkington in the Team RAC car in second place.
Yeah, well, poor old Matt Jackson, I mean, perhaps a victim of his own impetuosity there, because he clearly had the best car underneath him, and he had a huge lead on the run down to Tower, but the standing water there is simply atrocious, and just caught him out as the first car there. But he really needed to be a little bit more prudent, perhaps, on that first lap.
Well, here we come up to the hairpin. Oh, Shedden's run very, very, very wide. Out of the lead, loses second place, and it's Colin Turkington who leads, but the safety car is going to pick them up. They do race to the line, though, so Turkington will now lead behind the safety car. What a chaotic first lap, but purely because of the changing conditions here.
Yeah, look how Jackson's car just launches off the line. Absolutely fantastic. But then he's hitting puddles all the way down to the first corner, which should have been an indicator to him to be careful. Look, he's already on the limit there. On the limit, he just can't physically slow the car down. Just runs out of road. He's trying to modulate the braking, get the car slowed down. Fortunately, he's kept it going and he's rejoined a long way back, but he is still in this race.
Yeah. This was Tom Chilton going off at the same time. That was the onboard view from Tom Chilton. Then Shedden made this mistake at the hairpin. The red flag has come out again. Well, I haven't seen this for a long time in British touring cars. We've had 2 red flags in the one race. Well, it is round 13 of the championship, and I'm afraid it has not worked out very well. We've only done 2 laps, one of those on this second part of the race behind safety car. We did 4 laps in the first part of the race.
Yeah, it's obviously been deemed by the clerk of the course as too dangerous to race, and I think I have to agree with his call on this one.
Well, it's Colin Turkington, it appears, who has won this race, but it's been a doubly interrupted race and a very strange start to the day. Turkington from Neal and Shedden, Giovanardi up to 4th, and well, he certainly may have saved his championship advantage there ahead of Collard, Jordan, Stephen Cade, Adam Jones, Michael Doyle scoring his first ever points in British touring cars, if they all get points for this, and Andrew Jordan from the back in 10th place.
I can't believe, you know, I won the race. I was just sort of sitting around 3rd, 4th place there, but the conditions are so bad. You know, I've never raced in conditions like this before, and it's hard to even commit to full throttle on the straight because of wheel spin. But the biggest issue is you get to a corner and there's just like a pool of water and there's absolutely no grip, no heat in the tyres, no heat in the brakes. So it really is a tiptoe job. So yeah, I'm delighted. I'll take that win.
2 red flags. Obviously, the race ended before its scheduled amount of laps. The right decision?
I don't know. You know, I wanted it to go on because I felt I was in a strong car, but you know, we've had a marshal injured, and I hope he's okay. You know, you just got to think about him and everything. And so it was really tough conditions. So it was on the edge stuff.
I think personally, when we stopped the race for the first time, that should have been it stopped. I mean, we couldn't even commit to full power and going in a straight line. And there's that much standing water out there. I think it was yeah, very very tricky to say the least.
I hit some standing water just as I got on the brakes. Everything locked up and off I was.
Well done to the guys to get everything cleared up and get you back on the grid.
Absolutely. You know, the most important thing, you know, in those sorts of situations is try and remain calm and let all the guys, the engineers, the mechanics, take control of the situation and you know, and turn it into a military operation. You know, there's a lot to do, a lot to think about, and it's very easy in those situations for them to make mistakes and miss something. And I have to say they did a great job and got us back out.
So Colin Turkington wins that shortened race for BMW, and we'll have action from the second touring car race of this Croft meeting after the break. So Colin Turkington nets maximum points for himself and Team RAC, and that means he starts on pole position for race 2 of the day. Back to Ben Edwards.
So here's the lineup for round 14, and it's Colin Turkington on pole position with Matt Neal alongside Gordon Shedden and Fabrizio Giovanardi on the second row of the grid, with Rob Collard in 5th place and Mike Jordan in 6th position. Behind them we've got Stephen Kane and Adam Jones. Michael Doyle starting up there in 9th place ahead of Andrew Jordan, and then from row 6 it's Chris Stockton and Jason Plato. Colin Turkington starting from pole position. Well, he repeated his victory from 12 months ago in race 1. Let's see if he can do it again in race 2 here at Croft. It's round 14 of the HiQ British Touring Car Championship. Away we go, and it's a very even start. Up front, Collard does indeed make a good start in a motor-based BMW, but it looked to me as though it was poleman Turkington who got away. Yes, it is. The battle is for second place as Shedden just trying to squeeze past Matt Neal, and he's done it. Matt Neal is pushed back down to 3rd. Rob Collard in a fast-starting 4th place in the BMW.
Yeah, it's all cleanly through. Fortunately, the first part, one of the cars out wide on the approach to the chicane, but Shedden, perfect getaway.
Yeah, good for him. I think that was Michael Doyle a little bit wide. Of course, he's now running with some faster cars than he would normally run with. Now, this is the corner that caught so many out earlier on, Tower Bend.
Into it goes Turkington. He went off there last year on oil in race 2. Well, he's got through it safely this time. And in the middle of the pack, you can see the 2 Seats trying to make up ground. Onslow-Cole also as well, trying to pick up some places on this opening lap.
Yeah, Matt Jackson, of course, trying to fight his way through. He made another good start further back on the field. Oh, some of the cars went sideways there. That was Jordan getting out off the tarmac. Another one as well. Oh, John George sideways.
Surely, has he held that? Where is he? There he is. John George lost it. We thought he might have done one way, then the other, right in the middle of the track, and somehow they've all missed him. Fantastic.
Well, seriously delayed everyone behind him because they just didn't know where the car was going to go. That was one of the longest spins I've ever seen. Went on for ages.
Windscreen wipers working busily, but no evidence of anybody steaming up inside. So hopefully they've got reasonable visibility. And in fact, Turkington up front able to run without the wipers running.
Yeah, the guys use a Rain-X film on the windscreen, which is a fluid, it's a water repellent. It beads the water up like a wax shampoo would do, and the water just runs off the screen really quickly. It's actually more efficient than having the wipers on.
Well, it's working for Turkington. He's got clear air and he's opening up a lead. Here comes Matt Neal on the attack, trying to get down the inside of Gordon Shedden. He will not be denied. And these 2 former teammates, oh, they made contact into the wall. Goes Shedden. What a shame. It looked as though that was just going to be a straightforward pass. It ended in tears for Shedden.
Well, I think Matt was trying really hard, actually, to hold that car on the inside and not hit his family team's car of Shedden. Safety car is out, but they will race back to the start-finish line. But of course, Matt Neal's father runs the team that Shedden drives for, and well, there could be some harsh words over dinner tonight.
That is awkward, isn't it? Safety car on track, as you say. Shedden has got the car running. I'm amazed because it seemed to hit the wall pretty hard, but actually, the reason for bringing the safety car out has now disappeared because Shedden's got going. Let's take a look at that accident once again here. Tim, talk us through it.
Yeah, Matt Neal goes to the inside. Shedden sees it coming. There's no contact at this stage. It appears that everything's okay. Then obviously it's wet. They run out wide and there's just the slightest contact. I mean, Matt Neal does run out to the edge of the track, but it's unusual for the car to be speared off in that direction.
This is the onboard with Matt Jackson. This was obviously further back. He was battling his way through. There was Tom Chilton, and it looked like Harry Volkard on the outside, and Jackson nipped through. And in fact, Jackson is now up to 11th overall. Turkington has the job of easing them out. Collard now up to 3rd place in the motorbase car, with Giovanardi up to 4th, Stephen Kane up to 5th place. And across the line they go. Let's nip down to the pits. Louise is with Gordon Shedden.
Gordon, how are you feeling about that one? I can imagine.
Again, don't think it needs to happen. You know, Matt had gone up the inside late, I'd given him loads of room, and he just sideswiped across the front of the car on the exit of the corner, and obviously massive damage. So, you know, there's easily room enough for 2 cars to go abreast round there. Didn't need to happen.
I mean, obviously the irony here as well as your teammate last year, and it's his dad running your team now.
You know, when you're out there, you're racing and that's it. But regardless of who it is, I still think there was room for 2 cars to exit out of that corner. One didn't need to end up in the barriers.
Thanks, Gordon.
Thanks.
Thanks, Louise. Well, we've got some good... Oh, off goes Stockton. Oh, same place, but a bit earlier on. Straight into the cornfield. And, well, I don't know quite where he's going.
Well, Chris Stockers is exploring all the areas that Croft has got to offer. He's been straight line the chicane and now locked up the brakes. Oh,
somebody else is
one
off.
of the Jordans.
Yeah, I think it's Andrew Jordan off. Yeah, it is Andrew Jordan who's been off, and he was up into, where was he, 9th? He was up in 9th place, but he's had an off and he's now got back on again. Take a look at this through the fast Jim Clark S's. Oh, we've seen his car control, but he...
Plato, meanwhile, is up to 8th, but he's got Matt Jackson behind him. Look at the difference in line there. Matt Jackson much tighter on the exit there.
So Matt Jackson really looking to try and pick up the places here. He's going up against Jason Plato. That could be an interesting confrontation. Leaders are already into Tower Corner. Nobody on a challenge just here. Watch out for Jackson in the white BMW. Having a go at the Seat there of Plato, but he doesn't do so on the approach. But you're seeing Plato's having to be defensive. Jackson's had a good run out of the corner. Might be able to draw alongside the Seat up towards the S's. And he's done it. He's got it past him before they even get into the S's. So great move by Matt Jackson. That puts him 8th.
Yeah, the traction of the BMW, saw him set up that wide entry, get alongside. Here we go, he gets alongside very early, hard on the power. And the fact he can get on the throttle flat earlier, just a split second before. Plato, is enough to carry his momentum through and past.
Adam Jones, Matt Jackson again on the attack now, and having got past Jason Plato, Matt Jackson's next target is Adam Jones, and of course Jackson and Jones, Tim, are really racing for independence points as well. They're very close to one another. Oh, he's done it already. Look, he's through. He's passed.
Yeah, he's very quick out of tower, isn't he? But Adam Jones will fight back. We've seen Adam Jones very aggressively fighting back. Remember at Brands Hatch when he went straight up, he said, look, he's down the inside into Sunny 1, Sunny in. There he is. Might even push Jackson out onto the dirt. And that's what I like about Adam Jones. As soon as he's passed, he fights back immediately.
Great stuff from the man from Solihull. Yep, Adam Jones on the attack. He won't be passed that easily, and so Matt Jackson is going to have to think about it again. But that BMW looking very quick in these middling conditions. When we thought the BMW would struggle, actually, in Matt Jackson's case, it's flying. Certainly out of tower corner. So let's see whether he goes on the attack here. No, can't quite, because Adam Jones makes sure he protects position. Remember, Adam Jones is in a petrol-powered Seat Leon. Behind Jackson is the diesel-powered Seat of Jason Plato.
Yeah, Plato will be looking for some opportunist move here, I'm sure, but clearly Jackson's car, they got the dampers, the setup very, very good for these conditions. He won't get around the outsider. Now watch, he'll try and cut to the inside here. He's got very good traction. He takes a tight line. That's Plato and Onslow. No, it's Darren Turner and Onslow-Cole side by side.
Yeah, this is.
And there we go. That inside line's worked for Jackson.
Yeah, you said it would work, and it did. So great line from Matt Jackson, and that does put him back into 7th place. And it's Turkington, Neal and Collard. Top 3 very close. Then Kane, Giovanardi. Has Kane got past Giovanardi? Let's just check that when we look back at that next little group. I want to see whether the other BMW is ahead. We've certainly got still Colin Turkington leading this race. Yeah, Stephen Kane has got past Giovanardi. So now Collard and Kane, the 2 Motorbase teammates, are running 3rd and 4th. This is how Stephen Kane was able to get past Giovanardi. Let's just see, it was down through those first couple of corners, was it? Oh, and Giovanardi made a mistake. Well, he had to straight line the chicane. Mike Jordan, meanwhile, side by side with Giovanardi. These two have had contact in the past, and it's Mike Jordan on the outside as they head down towards Clairvaux, the first corner. Surely he's not going to be able to sweep around the outside of the Vauxhall, is he? Giovanardi, one of the most aggressive. You can't go through there side by side. Oh, somehow they got through there, still side by side. Wonderful stuff from 2 of the most experienced racers in British touring cars, still side by side. And Jordan's got through, but he has to straight line the chicane.
Well, who said you couldn't be brave at 50 years old? And no wonder this man is such an icon for the male fraternity, shall we say? Hence the pink name on the car. He's got plenty of gumption.
Yeah, well, this was great, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. And they were still side by side at this point. Jordan tried to get in the end, he just had to sort of straight cut the chicane. He'd probably get away with that, because if he hadn't done that, they would have both ended up in the time area. There's no denying the fact that that BMW is very, very rapid. He's putting the championship leader and reigning champion Fabrizio Giovanardi under some serious pressure now as they come across the line this time. And just looking in the background there, Stephen Jelly looking for some wet track to cool those tyres down. His teammate, there he is, Colin Turkington, still has the advantage here over Matt Neal and Rob Collard. There's Jackson on the attack, and he's done it. Same thing again, tight line, and he's through at Hawthorne. Nice move for Matt Jackson, and he has now moved into 5th place. Great stuff from the youngster, and he really is making up for the disappointment of what went on here in the first race.
Yeah, the guys they only have 2 types of tyre, a full wet and again Jackson wide, doing what Kane did the lap before, just staying on the track. Has he lost the position though? Back to Giovanardi, they're side by side. I think he'll be okay. He's got the left hand. Yes, he is. He's still okay.
That was the move when he got past Giovanardi, and it was very straightforward. Tim, talk us through. There's a slight difference between the 2 BMWs run by Motorbase with the red colours and Matt Jackson's, and that's in their gearboxes, but that's not only the difference, it makes a difference to the weight. Here comes Jackson. Is that slightly lighter car of Jackson's going to get through? I think it is. Jackson's done it. Great move. Now, that car is a fraction lighter, isn't it? Will that be helping?
Not hugely in this situation. The Jackson car you're talking about runs the 5-speed gearbox. The Motorbase cars run a 6-speed gearbox, and the penalty for having the 6 gears is that they have to run 30 kilos heavier.
This was the manoeuvre for Matt Jackson to get past Stephen Kane, and again it's this tight line which he has developed to perfection. Gets on the inside here, and then just great traction, muscles his way through.
Oh, big slide there. That was well.
He's lost 3rd. Oh, Collard, just when it looks as though they might get their best ever result. Collard big slide, and he's just gathered it together.
Yeah, he has. He's trying ever so hard, desperately. Slide again. I think the tyres are going away on Collard's car. Watch this. It's a great slide. Look, clips the curb, car runs wide, holds it, just runs out wide. Collard loses a bit of pace, and through goes Jackson. Jackson could win this race, you know.
He's looking around here, maybe having a think, but we know how fast Jackson is on the next section. Now watch him. This is where, through the next part of this corner, where he's been so fast. He'll go to the inside here. Watch him, watch him. Oh, Matt Neal covers the inside. Clever from Matt Neal. He knows what to look for. Doesn't give Matt Jackson that bit of space that everyone else has allowed him to have. And then Neal very fast through the chicane.
Yeah, Matt Neal. Matt Neal always takes the tightest line. He likes to drive point to point as close as he can, and some drivers like to run out wider, but he certainly had it covered there, and that's effectively stopped any Charles Jackson out of winning the race, because he's run out. This is the other favourite place he's got.
Though he might well have done him, he's got great traction out of Tower Corner, and Matt Jackson has moved up into second place. Matt Jackson has come from 18th, he's into second place, and he could still win this race, but there's a big gap between himself and race leader Colin Turkington. But this is one of the drives of the season, no doubt about it, from Matt Jackson in the BMW. He's fought his way past Matt Neal.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, Matt Neal's actually a little bit wide anyway, so he opened the door for Matt Jackson. Again, Matt Jackson's able to get planted on the power early enough, and his momentum takes him through before they get to the left-hand part of the Jim Clark S's. And he's actually closing up very quickly on Colin Turkington.
Not much more than 2 or 3 cars lengths between them, I wouldn't say. Matt Neal still in third, then Collard in fourth, and Kane under pressure there from Giovanardi. There might be a change for 5th place behind them, but it's surely the race leader here, Colin Turkington, who's feeling the pressure, seeing that other BMW catching him. He must think, where did he come from? I'm sure he started way down on the grid. Well, he did. He started 18th, but he's attacking for the lead. We're into the last couple of corners now, and that crucial hairpin coming up, which is surely the... Oh, big side from Turkington. He gathers it together, but there's still 2 corners to go. Turkington looking to try and make it 2 out of 2 here, but can he hold off from Matt Jackson? Matt Jackson goes wide. Turkington runs him deep into the corner. Now it's a drag race to the line, and Turkington's going to hold on. Is he just going to do it? Turkington makes it 2 out of 2 for Team Racing. But Matt Jackson, the star of the show. 3rd place just goes to Matt Neal. Rob Collard takes 4th.
So confirmation of the result of round 14. Colin Turkington wins it by only just a 1/10 of a second from Matt Jackson in the other BMW. Matt Neal completes the podium place. It's a great result for Rob Collard. Giovanardi's 5th, Adam Jones 6th in the petrol Seat, Mike Jordan 7th, and Jason Plato 8th in the diesel Seat.
The race went on. There was less and less water on the track, so my wet tyres were getting hotter and hotter, and it just became more difficult to keep the car on the track. And you know, you feel the pressure from the guy behind, and I could see Matt was catching me, and I was trying to push. You know, I didn't have far to go, and I just lost the rear end and thought, oh no, that's I have a lot of lock on here, but yeah, I'm delighted to gather it up and get my 2nd win of the day.
You almost had him, almost.
Yeah, it was always going to be tight, but you know, the BMW performed superb today in those conditions in that race. Like Colin said, it was drying out towards the end and it was getting a little bit slippy. You know, as the tyres got a little bit too hot, but you know, to come from 18th on the grid to 2nd, and you know, just a few hundredths between the 2 of us.
Earlier in the race, the incident with Gordon Shedden, just tell us about that from your perspective.
Yeah, I know, I'm sad about that. I got a run on Gordon, got a bit of a tank slapper coming through the chicane. I got a run on him, got cleanly down the inside, and then I was just coming out in front of him, and with the wheels lighting up, you're both going to the... I think we touched, and he rode up the side of my car.
I mean, he felt that, you know, there was space for the 2 of you going through there. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think he's probably right, yeah. You know, the last person I want to do it to is Flash, so, you know, and he knows that.
4th place man is with me now, Rob Collard, and that is the best ever result for your team.
Yes, Motorbase is new to the Touring Car Championship at the moment, and it's a very good result for the team. And I was sitting there in 3rd, sitting behind Matt, and I'm thinking, shall I overtake Matt? I had the speed to overtake Matt Neal early on, and I just thought, no, we'll just try and be conservative and get a podium. And I just didn't see Matt Jackson coming, because otherwise I'd have pushed Matt Neal a little bit earlier.
So Colin Turkington's 1st ever double win in the British Touring Car Championship, and in the draw for the 3rd race of the day, it was Mike Jordan in the Honda Integra who emerged on pole position, and we'll have all that action in a couple of minutes' time.
BTCC.
So Colin Turkington's been the man to beat in the BMW so far here at Croft. Here's Ben Edwards with the grid for the third race of the day.
So here's the lineup for the final touring car race of the day. Mike Jordan starts on pole position ahead of Adam Jones, and then it's series leader Fabrizio Giovanardi starting third. Rob Collard is fourth for Motorbase ahead of Matt Neal, and Matt Jackson, the star of race 2. He starts from 6th position. The man who won both races so far today, Colin Turkington, starts 7th. Jason Plato is 8th ahead of his teammate Darren Turner. Then it's Stephen Jelly from 10th place. Tom Onslow-Cole starts 11th, and Jason Hughes starts 12th. Wait for those lights. Long hold, lights out, away we go, and here comes the BMW trying to find space. It's Rob Collard on a charge. Mike Jordan was pretty quick off the line, but Collard's already alongside Adam Jones. Giovanardi's up there as well, and it's going to be Collard who leads into the first corner. Rob Collard, all contact behind Jordan and Jackson. Jackson through the gravel and comes back on again. Tim, you did that earlier.
Yeah, it won't cost him any damage to the car, but it certainly cost him a lot of positions.
Well, he's got back on again. Oh, big slide for Matt Neal as well. That was a very good start by Rob Collard, though. As we know, those BMWs are fast. Bit of bumper damage to Jackson's car. It's Collard leading. Giovanardi in second place. Mike Jordan and Adam Jones battling next up, then Matt Neal and Colin Turkington.
Yeah, let's hope that rear bumper doesn't come off anymore, because otherwise he's going to be in trouble with the clerk of the course. He could potentially be black flagged. One of the two Seats got past him, and obviously this is their best chance, having been first and third in dry qualifying as one of the Vauxhalls gets sideways.
Plato's the lead Seat at the moment in that group. It's Collard leading, Giovanardi second, then Jones and Jordan third and fourth, then Matt Neal in fifth, Turkington sixth, then I think it's, yes, Jason Plato in seventh. Matt Jackson's dropped down to eighth. Darren Turner is in ninth place. Great battle up front, but also in this group of cars here as Matt Jackson, after that trip through the gravel, trying to make up for it. What a day of contrasting fortunes it's been for Matt Jackson here today. There's Gordon Shedden just trying to move his way up the order as well. Don George in the immaculate-looking JAG car, looking immaculate at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way this time. There's Tom Chilton getting alongside Darren Turner at the back end of the top 10. Chilton in the orange Team Halfords car, side by side with Darren Turner as the leaders turn into Clairvaux. Top few cars coming through pretty much one at a time, but Turner staying ahead of Tom Chilton. Something went flying, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Plato, the first one to knock the little plastic post out of the way so they can straight line that little bit of chicane. Good run out of the chicane there from Giovanardi. He's super brave through there. Back on board with Jackson. Following Collard through here. Now Jackson's trying to go around the outside. Collard does make it on the dry line, breaks late and gets across in front. But Jackson's hung out to dry. Little contact there on the right with Jordan. Tiniest contact was enough to send him wide.
Well, we've had a change of lead. Look, Giovanardi's got in front. He managed to squeeze past Rob Collard as we were looking at the replay at the start. He snuck through, and it's now the championship leader who's out in front. But the safety car has been called. We've got the sun. Somebody else has offered. Oh, and that's John. Oh dear, what did I say about an immaculate car? I spoke too soon.
Yeah, and that's at the exit of the Jim Clark S's, so that could be serious. But it's a very high-speed section of the course. We saw Giovanardi lining up the pass on Collard. He was very fast through the chicane, and he clearly got through. But the rest of them still racing the final part of the lap.
Yeah, everyone racing to the line. Giovanardi leading this race. He'll lead them across the line to Collard in second. Adam Jones in third. Mike Jordan in fourth. Matt Neal in fifth. Look at the lot behind them. And Plato, where's he going?
And Jackson's got through. Jackson's going across the line. And something's happened on the way in there. Jackson's come across the line in sixth.
I think Plato's off on his way to Darlington or something, because he's absolutely miles offline. He got nerfed out of the way, presumably, but we didn't quite see, and there's surely damage to that car. He's crawling along, car weaving around, and it's a really bad day. It's turned worse for Jason Plato.
Here we go. This is onboard Jackson following Plato, coming up to the final section. Just this right-hander and the following left.
Not a long way behind here, isn't he?
Oh, Plato went up the side of Turkington. It wasn't Jackson, it was Plato going up Turkington. Ran over the wheels, the wheel arches sticking out, and that was it.
Let's take a look at it from on board here. Oh, that was up in the air. Nearly, well, it didn't.
Well, there was never any room there. There was never any room because Turkington was already defending the line, and it was also wet on the inside. Oh!
This was what happened to John George. Oh.
That was a big hit.
That was a big hit, and he must have been frightened in the car, because when you lose it at that point, you're travelling at some 120, 130 miles an hour, and he just was a passenger.
Oh, there's John. Well, that's great news.
Yeah, he's okay.
Very much, you know, he's a serious amateur racer. He comes from Par in Cornwall and loves his touring car racing, but unfortunately, it's been a few non-finishes this year.
Yeah, still manage a smile though. That's what we like to see. Great sporting spirit, and helping the marshals to move the car. Look, he's feeling guilty, bless him, for holding the race up.
Giovanardi was able to get past Rob Collard for the lead of this race just before the safety car came out. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Super brave through this chicane on the damp track, on slicks, just carrying the momentum, and the momentum takes him all the way down the straight, and he's on the left-hand side, so he's on the drier part of the track. Collard sensibly doesn't defend, and he's passed.
Well, the story, I suppose, of the day so far, Tim, is really, it's all gone a bit wrong for Seat, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at particularly at Jason Plato, you know, now he's not going to score any points in this race. They qualified so well, and yet here on race day it's just all gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jason was very philosophical on the, oh, he's still going round, but look where his steering wheel is. Look where his steering wheel is. He's near, is it straight or anything like straight? I don't think so, no. And the car looks pretty undrivable to me.
Here we go then. Safety car will be heading into the pits on the exit of the hairpin. Giovanardi, the Italian, with 7 touring car titles to his name, including last year's championship, of course, here. Gets on the power, and that Vectra accelerates away well. Strong engine, strong chassis. It seems to have everything going for it. Chasing is Rob Collard in 2nd place. Adam Jones in the silver and red Seat in 3rd. Then it's Mike Jordan in 4th. What's going on? Matt Jackson having... Oh, Jackson hits Turner! And Turner in the gravel. I think Jackson continues.
Yeah, Jackson continues. Looking down the inside, and there was definitely a greasy track still on the inside, and probably not enough room. It's very difficult to pass on the inside there, and that could be... We have got a snatch vehicle actually down at Clairvaux. Hopefully they can clear that with just stationary yellows or waved yellows.
What a shame. We had such a good, clean race, fairly incident-free in the second race. There is Jackson still going through shot. So he's still running. He's just ahead of Tom Chilton on the road. They're just flashing through. A lot of mud on the front of Tom Onslow-Cole's Vauxhall. Well, it's a bit grubby. He's obviously been off somewhere. And they, as you say, the snatch vehicle is ready to pull that Seat back out of trouble. There'll be yellow flags down there at the moment, though. Won't be any overtaking allowed.
That really just sort of... Well, watch this. How alongside is he? How alongside is he? Well, really, it was just a nose down the inside, wasn't it? Very difficult to see from that angle. Here we are. Oh, well, difficult one to call. Difficult one to call.
And Scott Dennis, what a day for Seat. Fabrizio Giovanardi's opened up a 1.2-second lead over these two guys. Oh, Jones down the inside, he's done it. Jones gets alongside Collard out of shame. Oh, and he's wiped off the front bumper on Jordan's car, and he loses 4 places in one go, and it could all be over. And Motorbase team, what do they have to do to get a result? Dave Bartram will have his head in his hands. They really felt there was a chance here. Damage to the back of Mike Jordan's car as a result.
Yeah, that was a good move by Jones down the inside into Sonny. A very difficult one to pull off, because you're braking on the curve and on the bumps, and he pulled it off pretty neatly, and then Collard obviously got a little bit wide, got into a tank slapper, and that was the result.
There is the old front end. It's not just the bumpers, it's all the inlets for the radiators, and bad news indeed for Rob Collard. Take another look at it.
Yeah, down the inside comes Adam Jones, slight bit of contact, nothing too dangerous, but then gets an oversteer, and that was Collard's front end gone. Jackson nipping through there as well. Jordan's gone wide, and Jackson gone wide. Is there some fluid down there or something? I wonder if Collard went round and dropped some fluid from the rads or something, but they both simultaneously slid wide.
It's all changed. 3rd now is Matt Neal. 4th now is Tom Chilton. 5th is Jackson. Oh, Jordan's off again. Jordan runs very, very wide. He's lost another place, maybe 2. And Mike Jordan definitely struggling, unless maybe his car's leaking fluid onto its own tyres or something, because he's suddenly struggling, slowing right down. Now he's allowing Stephen Jelly through, and his son Andrew is the next one who's going... Oh, he's all over the place. There's our race leader, car number 1, and you know what? He's going to surely come round for yet another victory this year. Giovanardi has already had 3 wins this season. He's looking all set for win number 4.
here at Croft. Tom Onslow-Cole, what was he doing there in the background? Has there been a mistake? I think there has. Shedden, man, I think Shedden has got past Onslow-Cole. Yes, he has. So Shedden has gained one on this last lap. Matt Jackson's going to have a go. Surely Chilton's done enough. Giovanardi is going to take the victory here in race 3 of the day. The halfway point of the championship. Giovanardi wins. Jones just takes a great second from Matt Neal. Look at the celebrations at Team Aircool as Adam Jones takes second. Third to Matt Neal. Fourth does go to Tom Chilton. Fifth to Matt Jackson. Sixth to Gordon Shedden. It was 6th place in the end for Shedden ahead of Onslow-Cole. Turkington 8th, Jelly 9th, and the final point will go to Andrew Jordan. There is the race winner, though. Another classy drive from Fabrizio Giovanardi.
Yeah, good drive. He knew that race was his for the taking. This is just a little replay of that final lap with Onslow-Cole making a slight mistake, breaking into Sonny in. Shedden gets inside him, Sonny out, puts Onslow-Cole wide, and that was a position lost. But
yeah, that's what happened. That's how he did it. A little bit of damage to the car, but Giovanardi win number 4 of 2008 for Fabrizio Giovanardi. Adam Jones, an absolutely superb 2nd place, and that's his best result, in fact. So well done to Adam Jones. Matt Neal in 3rd, Tom Chilton in 4th, then Matt Jackson in 5th. Gordon Shedden took 6th on the last lap from Tom Onslow-Cole. Colin Turkington took 8th ahead of Stephen Jelly and Andrew Jordan.
We found the best solution for the dry just in the end, better than never. Anyway, you in the second race, you say me, what do you expect to do in this? I say to jump front. It just was a little bit late, one race late, but anyway, it was great. I've tried to try the fever to the other drivers the first 2 laps, and I've seen them a little bit difficult, so I just say, okay, I have to manage the tires because the last race in tracks and I had trouble just the last corner, so it was not good. Anyway, the car was perfect.
At the beginning of the season, or even last season, when we knew what our plans were to have the lay on, obviously everything was tight for time, and if you'd have told me this beginning of the season, you know, you're going to come into Croft, you know, halfway through the season, I'm going to be winning independence, I'd have just laughed at you, you know. So to be in this situation is just a dream come true, and you know, it's all credit to everybody involved.
A great result for VX in the last one. I desperately wanted the 1-2 for him, but you know, I was on the podium, I didn't want to do anything stupid, and Adam was driving well, so I'm real happy to be back here. The car was fantastic, start to finish.
Well, they're happy, aren't they? And so they should be. And Fabrizio Giovanardi extends his lead, but only by 2 points. Now from teammate Matt Neal, and Matt Jackson back in the reckoning on 101 points, ahead of 4th equal Colin Turkington and Jason Plato. In the team standings, well, it's more or less domination by Vauxhall's VX Racing. 307 points against 170 for Seat Sport UK. We've got a little break now. Our next touring cars is in 6 weeks' time, and that's from Snetterton in Norfolk. Make a date in the diary, write it down, Sunday 13th of July, our normal time slot, 12:30 ITV4. But here at Croft, you've really needed a high visibility car to be seen through all the rain and the murk, and that's exactly what Colin Turkington has had in the BMW. But with Fabrizio Giovanardi, the old wily fox, coming through to win race 3 of the day. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Something stirring.